Double Toasted live show in Brooklyn, New York. That's going to be April 1st. Let's go ahead and get into, excuse me. I told y'all people I'm a little sick, so I'm going to try to get through this without sniffing and snorting, but I can't guarantee that won't be the case, but I'm going to do my best because that's just nasty and rude. But it's going to be hard because I have a very robust list of not best of. That's what these guys got over here. The production assistant, producer extraordinaire Kevin King gave me such a long list of things and told me you better not waste any of it too. And I was like, well, okay. I said he put it together. He put the work in, so I will not waste one bit of this, even add a little bit to it. But my list is going to be more or less my favorite things of 2022. You know, I haven't numbered anything. I haven't gone in and said, this is better than this right here. What I did do is that I put things in certain categories, mostly like genres. And just, these are more recommendations of things that I was able to see. See, what happened with 2022 is a couple of things. One, I got extremely busy. And while I got busier, movies got longer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was not able to see everything that I wanted to see. So I don't think I'd even be giving you a good list of things if I said these are the best of, because that makes it sound like you know everything. But also, I did see a lot of stuff between movies and streaming. And so I have a list of stuff on streaming that I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, these are just my personal favorites, things that I was able to see, and things that I thought either if you haven't seen them, they might be great recommendations, or you can, if you have seen them, you can agree or disagree. But let's go ahead and jump into it because this list is very long. And I'm going to go through this pretty fast. No big presentations or long descriptions or anything. But let's go ahead and start out with my first category right here. And this was a good year for a couple of period actioneers. Mm-hmm. Now, some of these things I gave maybe high matinees to, or, you know, low full price or something like that. But over time, after like comparing to other things, I said, yeah, I do like this. Mm-hmm. And one of those things that it might not have sounded like I was enthusiastic about it, but I really enjoyed The Northman. What is it? The Northman.
Yeah, Northman.
You must choose between kindness for your kin or hate for your enemies.
You know what I really enjoyed about this, because I did have some criticisms for it, but I liked it more than I disliked it. And one of the things I really got to give this credit for is that they depicted Vikings as the shitty people that they are.
Yeah.
You know, that like, even the heroes were horrible. They were just, like, I'm tired of seeing Vikings portrayed as, you know, kind people or cool, but no, they were assholes, man.
Yeah.
And this movie was that. Our hero, played by,
Alexander Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård. He's just kind of out for himself, out for revenge. It kind of started out seeming somewhat realistic. Okay, Vikings are shitty people. But then when we started to get on this revenge tale, it turned into this big psychedelic, heavy metal album cover, and it became like its own just tripped out thing, which is what we would expect from this director right here.
Sure.
Is Robert Eggers, who did the
Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse. But man, as I said, everybody in here is pretty bad, except for maybe one or two people. But some great performances by Alexander Skarsgård, Anna Taylor-Joy. Yeah, it was visually, it's just, even though what turned out to be like, this is cool that you're showing these Vikings for who they are, it really did turn into his own thing after a while. And I enjoyed it for that. The second period actioneer that we have here that I really enjoyed was...
To be a warrior, you must kill your tears.
That's The Woman King. Now, The Woman King, it was caught up in controversy. And I agree with a lot of the things that were being said. But I was conflicted with this movie because this stars Viola Davis as the leader of this African tribe that's been known throughout history. The controversy came in where they were known for selling off their people to slave traders and slave masters. And I think that's good that we are having a conversation about that. But the part where I became conflicted with this is that I loved seeing the strong depiction of Black women on screen. This was no struggle shit. In fact, it was great seeing, like that shit there. Yes, this is not a racist statement, okay? This is not against black and white or anything like that today, but we don't, man. You don't know how long we had to grow up with movies about slaves where we just had to see our asses get whooped, and then just pray that some white savior would come in and help us out.
Hi,
look,
saved you.
It's Matthew McConaughey. Oh, thank God.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Christopher.
I'm here, everyone. Don't worry. I will.
Get your people, man.
Brad Pitt, you'll tell our story, right?
Yeah, sure, of course. Yes.
Brad Pitt was on the poster for 12 Years a Slave. This movie, and there's been some others, but because we're starting to see it now, but this movie showed them rising up against those like evil ass white people and killing the out of them. And I was grateful for it. Now, you can sit there and call me racist all you want to. It's about time. Let's go to another category. Animation. Now, you're going to probably name some things, but keep in mind, I got 2 separate lists, so just bear with me for a moment. This is a movie I really admired, especially after this company put out a big disappointment.
It's gonna be me.
People, that is Turning Red. That's the period Panda Bear movie that picks up. It is.
So you did your first 2 period pieces, you just rolled them into a movie.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a literal period.
Let's talk about another period piece right here. This is a lot of people called it the period movie. Not as controversial as I thought it was going to be. Fox spent about 48 hours on this and said, there's nothing here. Yeah. And they moved on. But
their own kids liked it.
Yeah. They're like, man, we ain't... and plus, I think Fox a lot of it's owned by Disney now. So at least the movie part.
The movie part, not the news.
Yeah. But even then, they say, Mouse is somewhere. He'll buy us soon.
Yeah, it's like, is this not getting traction? All right, move on.
Yeah. Somebody said the tampon bear. Get out of here. That's just nasty. See, you childish. That's how this movie did not handle things. They handled it with respect. Yeah. See, I'm choking up now.
It's an emotional movie.
It's emotional, man.
Yeah, it really was.
Periods are riveting.
Yeah.
But this is the movie where they did handle the subject of periods or young girls going through a period for the first time. And they handled it pretty much with a lot of respect and dignity and humor that worked. There was a lot of humor in this. And a lot of it was taken from period humor that was done for kids and handled tastefully. But also, what I thought was cool about this is that there was a lot of humor coming from these little girls, man. It was exaggerated, of course, because this is a family animated movie.
It's exaggerated, but accurate at the same time.
Yeah.
I watched my daughter going through all these different things. Yeah. And even her relationship with my wife, I was like, wow, you guys got to watch this, because it's like they've had a camera in our house.
Yeah. No, it was. And listen, I don't have any kids, but I could watch and feel that.
You can feel how authentic it is.
Yeah, this was and this was directed by, I forgot her name, but it was directed by a female. So this was pulled from personal experience.
Yeah, it's her first movie.
As I said, thank God for this, because if we didn't have it, Pixar would have been a disappointment this year. This is not any surprise to anyone who saw some of our recent reviews, but next up in the animation category.
So this is where dignity goes to die.
Your Puss in Boots?
Let's talk. No hablo inglés.
People, this took what made Shrek popular and kind of took the gimmicky stuff out of it. Like all the pop culture references. Right. And all the puns and whatnot, and was able to actually make something that was, and still kept that anything goes kind of feel to it, that anything goes kind of ride that you did with these characters. I mean, this is all over the place, and that's actually great, man. I think they kind of honed in on making their humor a little bit better than what they did in Shrek throughout the years. Shrek feels a little bit dated. I think Puss in Boots in a few years will not, just because it's crazy, man. The jokes are dark. But you wouldn't feel it, though, because they just do such a great job at making them so funny that they seem kind of lighthearted. I mean, this is a movie about a cat who keeps dying over and over again until he gets to his last death, and then has this conflict in his life.
Watch! Boss, I think you set the oven too high!
I laughed at this movie so hard for the majority of the film. This is something I don't get from many movies out there. So I love this film, man. All right, let's go ahead and move to horror. Horror. This was a great year for horror.
Yes,
great.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to have their favorites. A lot of people are going to be probably upset because I'm leaving some things out. They're probably going to be upset because of certain things that I put in. I'm sure this one I'm mentioning first is going to split a lot of people on how they feel about this.
You're really weird, you know that?
I believe him. What? Something's wrong.
You know, people, this is Terrifier 2. And the reason why I say people are gonna be split on this is because for a lot of people, this was so violent that it was almost exploitive. It was almost gore porn. It is gore porn if you ask me. But also it's not the best story. It's a very low budget. But the reason why I said that this is cool is because if you recognize for what it is, this is pretty much a return to practical horror effects. What was this clown's name?
Art the Clown.
Art the Clown. Art the Clown, who's just a demonic clown. That's what the movie's about, and it's pretty straightforward. He comes back to Earth just to like destroy people's bodies in the most visceral and bloody and gory way. For people who grew up watching a lot of horror movies that really were just about, you know, the effects in the 80s, this is something that would be cool for you. And it really did stand out among the crowd for doing that. Now, moving up, I think it's something we'll talk about later. I really love this film right here and didn't know how much I loved it until I thought about it, even after I watched it.
Come on, Pearl, what you doing?
Yeah, people, that is Pearl. And Pearl kind of combined with this other movie.
Farmer's daughter, take one.
And that's X, y'all. So they're part of a trilogy. But Pearl is the one that I really love. And the reason why I really love Pearl is because I just love what they did with Pearl. Where they made, you know, the addition is just crazy for a horror movie. You know, it's so, you know, it's so
Stands
colorful.
out, it's different.
Yeah. You don't see horror movies this tech. She wrote a lot of dialogue for this character. She wrote a big monologue.
Yeah, she's a co-writer for this particular.
That's right. And there's a producer on it too. So she loves this, man. I can't wait to see what they do with the next one, which is also going to be a period piece, because this was set
This was set in the 19-teens, I want to say. It was just at the end of World War I. So 1918, and then you have X, which is set in the late 70s, which is an homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
And the next one's set in the 80s.
Yeah, the next one's going to be set in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's one I forgot to pull up, but a lot of admiration for this film. It was a big surprise. I hope I still, there we go. I still have it. This one, I have to say, I blew this off. I did not think that this was going to be as good as it was. You want to take a guess what it is?
A Barbarian.
Close.
Smile.
There you go. Too late.
I just want to have a chat.
I'm gonna. Do you see it right now here?
Wow, if that's not the most dismissive tone, if that's not a tone that says "bitch, you crazy," do you see some shit right now? Calm your ass down. Kind of my attitude towards the movie, man. When it came out, like, yeah, whatever, man. There's another one of these, but no, man, because after seeing The Ring and It Follows, I saw this and I'm like, all right, here we go,
another one of these.
Yeah, and man, very much quickly became one of my favorite horror movies of the year. But man, it was so character focused.
Yeah,
it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Sochi Bacon, who's the daughter of Kevin Bacon, Karis Edgewood.
Yeah.
She did a great role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The real horror was not the creature. The real horror was just seeing this poor woman's life be destroyed. Mm-hmm. That's where my anxiety came from.
Well, it's such a descent into mental illness that you don't even know 100% if the creature is real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is very true. And then after and listen, I'm not saying this is what happens and what doesn't, but if there's ever a point that you do decide that this creature is real, it's like, well, ain't nobody gonna believe her ass.
Right.
Yep. You know, the creature's just that shitty, man. I'm like, that creature.
Go ahead, tell somebody.
Yeah.
What happens.
See, yeah. You know, all they're gonna do is just smile and laugh at you. You know, the horror was her life being destroyed. The creature made me mad. Mm-hmm. Let me leave people alone. God damn.
That's not what they do.
No, I know. Creatures like I wasn't born to do that. Leave people alone. Why don't you stop streaming your show? Okay.
You're missing the core concept here.
Martin. Oh, let's see here. You already said it, but you were correct. My probably my favorite horror movie this year was, you already said it, Martin.
I don't know if you got a great look at this neighborhood, but I don't think you should be out there by yourself.
That's when you get. I don't care what that neighborhood looks like. I don't give a damn how bad that neighborhood is.
I don't know, man. When they showed that neighborhood in the daytime, I was like, you're kind of stuck.
I'd risk sleeping in the car and sleeping with that shit. Somebody running by to open the doors in the middle of the night. Oh, hell no.
I wouldn't like that either, but that neighborhood, I wouldn't sleep in my car in that neighborhood either.
But I know what I'm getting in that neighborhood. I don't know what the hell it is running through there. But see, the reason why I love this so much, man, is because director Zach Cregger, man, he made something that was so creative that it was unpredictable.
It was.
I mean, this movie goes everywhere, and it has you thinking it's going to be one thing constantly.
Yeah. Yes. You think it's going to be one thing, and then that threat is not the threat. And then later it stops and becomes a different movie.
Yeah.
And circles back around. And then later it stops again to go like, oh, well, all this other stuff. But it all comes back together. The only thing is that I don't know why it was called Barbarian.
Well, see, that's another unpredictable thing right there.
Because of a particular character's barbaric behavior.
Oh,
that's
like
it?
That's why.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All
That
right.
don't make no sense.
Yeah. All right. I guess.
This is such a wild ride of twists and turns. Don't know where any of this is going to go. Even up to the very end, you really don't know what's happening. But none of that is frustrating. It just, what it does, it just adds to the entertainment. It adds to the freakiness of the movie. It kind of adds to the dread.
Mystery.
And the mystery. And if you want to talk about the people in the movie, great cast, but this is Justin Long's. This is one of his best performances in years, man.
It's one of the best performances of the year, in my opinion. I really liked it. And like, he's getting no attention for this. Because the thing is, you're constantly changing your opinion on him. Sometimes it's like, all right, you're kind of scummy, but there's a charm in you. You are funny, like what you're doing. And you're like, oh, maybe he's learning his lesson. They go back and forth, and I love that. It's a dynamic role.
Yeah.
Well, they apply what is happening in the movie to his character, where you just don't. You don't know what's happening, even with this character's motivation. You know, I should have mentioned Black Phone. I like Black Phone. It was, I don't know if it was, I liked it. I don't know if it was one of my favorites, but you know what? While we're talking, it is a very good horror movie. And I should put it up there.
I mean, especially talking about how this was such a great year for horror.
Yeah, you know, and by all means, it did contribute to that. So yeah, you know, it's not my favorite.
It kind of kicked everything off.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm. It was out before these others. Well, maybe not X.
Okay, I was about to say.
X might have been out before.
Yeah, I think, was Pearl out before that too?
No.
Okay. Well, yeah, Black Phone is another one, man. Black Phone, I don't think it holds together throughout the whole film, but very well made, man. And more than a horror movie, they are telling a very good story early on. Ooh.
Tell me your name.
Taylor.
I was really starting to like you. Finny.
And Ethan Hawke, he gives another great performance for a horror movie. I would put him probably right behind Justin Long. Probably put Mia Goth first.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move on out of horror. And let's talk about drama. Not a lot of dramas I got to see this year because either I missed the screenings, or I didn't have screenings, or they saved them for the Critics Association and I wasn't able to go to them. But one of the dramas I did get to see, and I think this will split people, especially people in this room right here. I see you already looking.
I didn't see what it is.
Well, I can tell you right now, it will.
Okay.
It will.
What kind of movie are we gonna make? You could afford to be a little encouraging.
So this is the Fabelmans. And let me explain why I enjoyed this. And let me explain why I have some problems with this. Now, you know, because for one, from what you guys were saying, I really did think that this was going to be some Oscar bait tribute to movies. This is more a tribute to Spielberg's family, the things that the family are having to deal with that's probably slowly tearing them apart. Now, that is also part of my problem with this film, is that this is a family. Well, first of all, let me tell you about the movie because I just saw this last night.
Oh, okay.
I saw this last night.
Where'd you see it?
I saw it at the theater in Waco.
Oh, okay.
And I had nothing else to do. You know, I'm in Waco.
Yeah.
But so this, if you don't know about this is called the Fabelmans. The Fabelmans, that's the name of the family. And this is a tribute to this family through Spielberg's own upbringing and how they possibly played a role in his career, encouraging him to film everything at a young age. Now, that's part of my problem. This is a movie, this is a story where there are secrets in this family. And so when you get down to it, this is about a family full of simps. You know, what?
Okay.
Yeah. These people. Okay, so the secret is mostly coming from mom.
Oh yeah.
Mom, I ain't gonna say what's going on with her, but mom is doing some shit. All right, and so mom has all these secrets that nobody saw. Except the kid has been filming the shit the whole time. I'm like, you were there, you filmed it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he gets to the editing room, he's like, whoa, doing all that, you know, doing his own like version of enhanced back and forth and shit. I'm like, you filmed this shit, you didn't see this? And then dad is just oblivious. I just don't want to acknowledge it, what's happening with this family. So I was just like, this is a family for the simps, man. Especially Pops. Really? Because there are things that are going on around, like there's shit that is in your face that is going on in this movie, and you didn't see that, man.
It's one thing you don't see it, but another you don't question it. You're like, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but I got the feeling that something's happening here.
Yeah, and you a bitch if you listen. If that's your situation, boy, I can't say nothing, but. I wish
calm down,
boy. If dudes, no man would be falling for this shit. All right, that's all I got to say. And everybody like, well, damn, you look angry at this movie. I saw that, and that was a major problem for me. So how did I get over that? Well, you know, I also thought the movie was a little overdramatic too.
That was my. Did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, because I felt that way through the whole thing to the point where. I never got lost in it. I was always aware that I was watching a movie.
It almost felt like a checklist of his childhood. And then this happened, and then this happened. Nothing had like a natural flow. Mm-hmm. It has moments sprinkled in it that I think are quite good. And I think Michelle Williams is a cartoon character. I think she gives one of the worst performances this year. Like all the time. Like I can't do it. I was like, all right, here we go. Here's the next Michelle Williams scene.
Yeah, I actually liked her in the movie, man.
Yeah.
This is the thing with the film that really helped me get over a lot of the problems that I had with it. And keep in mind, you know, I saw this way after a lot of people, and I saw it as theater in Waco. I was by myself in the theater. But I thought the performances, I enjoyed them. I thought that's what to watch. That's what you watch this movie for. I was probably more impressed with
Judd Hirsch.
Well, Judd Hirsch, I loved in the movie.
Yeah.
No, he is
one of the best moments.
That was the thing. When he came on, I was like, oh, this is great. This is gonna be fun having him traveling with the family. And he just like, nope, I'm gone. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. No, Judd Hirsch comes in and does a small scene. It's almost like a small little mini play or something in the film. I really enjoyed him. No, it's a lot of great performances in here. I was really surprised by Paul Dano, man. Oh. Paul Dano, who, you know, almost never plays a tender character like this. You know, he's always playing some damn lizard or something. You know? he's usually Weasley.
Or a serial killer.
He's always looking like a salamander. He's always slimy and greasy and wet and looking in there. You know, and Weasley. You know, but here he played the father with a lot of heart, a lot of tenderness. And I felt, you know, and a lot of heartbreak, man, going on with him. And I really liked that. And Spielberg is such a pro and such a veteran that his filmmaking is so great. You know, I really look at how films are made today, and you know, and that's not everybody, of course, but films are made so fast now, and you know, movies don't have a flow to them. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of movies don't know how to use fade to black, cut to a next scene, cross dissolves. they don't know how to end a scene with, at the right beat of dialogue. And for all the problems that this movie had, it was just nice to see a theatrical release like this flow. And I don't get a chance to see dramas like this on the big screen, and they are becoming rare. Mm-hmm. This is lucky to have a deal with streaming services and theaters and whatnot, where it will play for 45 days. Otherwise, this would have been on streaming, instantly. 5 weeks ago. Mm. Yeah, instantly. Yeah. The filmmaking is so great here that to me, it made it worth watching on the big screen. I wasn't watching some fantasy. I wasn't watching some superhero movie. I was watching a God-honest drama up here with flaws, but still great filmmaking and made for the big screen. Mm-hmm. I mean, needless to say, it's a Spielberg. His cinematography is great. I'll tell you something else that made me laugh about this movie. I didn't think about it. Let me actually pull this up. Movie gave me a good laugh, and it wasn't even at the theater. I saw some. I was looking up the cast of the Fabelman, and I looked at this and I said, I know y'all didn't. You know what I'm talking about, probably.
Is it the end of the movie?
Well, no, I'm looking at the cast online.
Oh, okay.
And they got that damn monkey up there.
Oh, Jesus.
Crystal the monkey played Benny.
Oh, you have a little suit.
And that monkey's grinning around.
He's a star.
Yeah. Jesus, got scary.
I'm gonna wrap things up. Getting ready to wrap things up, and I will say this: I have a favorite. Mm-hmm. I have a favorite of the year. Yeah. So that's the only thing that came in and said that I'm not numbering anything. I'm not saying any of these are better than the other, but something I watched again, and I said, you know what? Yeah, I can honestly say I love this movie. But let's go ahead and get into this real quick. Blockbusters. What were some of my favorite blockbusters of the year? This one. Slight disappointment, but only because of the character that he is. You know what I'm thinking?
No.
Only because I'm expecting to just be blown away by this character.
Oh, is it Elvis?
No.
I've been trying to reach you. It's about a king and brothers to match.
People, that's the Batman. Love the director. One of my favorite director, Matt Reeves. He's made a perfect trilogy, if you ask me, The Planet of the Apes. So maybe I had very high expectations for this Batman. I didn't love the movie, but it's one of the movies I admire the most out of the year, man. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it a lot. I love the style that they chose with this. This is very, very gritty. In addition to the realism they have here, the makeup on Colin Farrell is amazing.
Yeah.
Don't
recognize him.
Didn't recognize him, man. I'm just like, is makeup so good now that like skin is actually looking like skin now?
Yeah. So they can be.
And not jiggling, rubber or jello or something. And what it did most is while I saw this like I did, what was it? Christopher Nolan's first Batman movie. Batman Begins, where I liked that movie a lot. I said, it's not something I always want to go back to. It has some flaws, but I want to see what they do next. And so I'm looking at this and thinking the same thing. I hope he can pull sort of a Christopher Nolan, and that next movie is amazing. And maybe they address some of the flaws that I and some people had, mainly that of Bruce Wayne not having a different personality from Batman. My whole reasoning was that he hasn't learned to do that yet. Mm. So, and there's other things that a lot of people accuse me of making excuses for the movie.
Aww.
And I'm thinking, hey, look, we'll see if that's the case with the next film, because those could be looked at as problems. But this is, it's a great looking version of Batman. My admiration is probably bigger than my like for the movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I don't love it, but I really, really like this movie a lot. So it had to make my list. Well, let me see here. Where am I? Well, let me see. This one's gonna piss some people off. This is not going to make some people very happy in the room. Oh, shit. Even my computer. Keeps like, get that shit out of here. I ain't playing this no more.
You bullshit.
Why do you come to us? I just want to keep my family safe.
So you can tell by the accents from those from that cat talk. People have been complaining about this a lot. They're talking about how it has been, and this is Avatar, The Way of Water. They're talking about how they kind of have come in and appropriated indigenous culture and people and whatnot. Yeah. I can see that because my complaint about the first Avatar, I said, it's just, look, I don't, they blue or green or whatever. It's a white savior movie. Mm-hmm. This is,
I never really thought about it, but you're so right.
As a white man, I can agree. Yes,
we had our discussion on that. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't make that a big criticism of the movie. I still like the movie, but this one here, I do see the criticism that people have. No, some of those would be mine. But listen, I know now that either people are in the love it or hate it camp with this film. And I don't want to be like that. You know, I just want to just say that the reason why I enjoyed this was for a very basic reason. And that is, I know the story's not the best. It's too long. If you want to go and watch the beginning of this show again, we had a whole discussion about some of the things that were wrong in this movie. That damn well is one of them. They need to get that. Don't bring that back.
He's coming back.
Yeah,
he's going to fight the Fire Nation.
You know he's coming back. He's the breakout star.
Don't bring Free Willy back. Kill him. You know what? Kill his ass or something.
They laughed and they had a whole Free Willy moment. Like, this is not a real whale. No, you don't have to do this.
Even up to the Free Willy jump.
Exactly.
Well, he only got halfway.
His big ass. He couldn't get up there.
Couldn't.
Yo, big ass.
Couldn't do it.
No, there are multiple problems with this, but listen, I don't want to jump on any bandwagons or anything, man. I have to be honest and say that, you know, this is the most immersive movie that I've seen in the theater. I had an experience like I had with no other movie. You know, the 3D was brilliant. And I was the one that criticized the first Avatar for a 3D, where everybody was kind of like, man, it was amazing. I'm like, it's bullshit to me. But you know what?
Get him out of here.
But you know what? Oh, shit.
Everybody has their turn.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I realized I needed glasses at this point. So it wasn't really working for me. But hey, I got my eyes now. So I can see clearly now. So yeah, it's a very basic reason to like this movie. And you know, there's something to be said about a movie that possibly can only work in the theater like that. But I saw it, I had a great time. I don't know what else to say, man. You know, it's I had an experience like none other I've ever had in a theater, watching it like this.
Well, I bet later this year, or maybe next year, some theater will do a double feature of the first one and the second one. Probably the first one remastered, so you can go again and spend your 6 hours in there watching the whole saga
with my fresh new eyes.
Fresh new eyes, exactly.
But yeah, I had a good time with it, man, and I was kind of impressed that I don't even like the frame rate that they filmed this at with other movies. I hated it with The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. Here, it made everything feel more real to me.
Sure.
I was telling Martin earlier when we were talking, I said when I took those glasses off, it made the real world kind of suck. Everything was flat.
Yeah, that's why everybody fell in love with the first Avatar, where they were going through PTSD when the movie was over. Really? No, there was people who were depressed because they couldn't live in Pandora for real. They would just keep going back and watching the movie over and over because they wanted to live in that world.
I understand now. I want to go to Pandora. I told him I came back from the bathroom and I had to take the glasses off to go find my seat. And I was like, this sucks, man. This is everything. I couldn't get to my seat because it was flat.
Man, you couldn't get your bearings.
The screen looks so good. I just wanted to plunge in it, man. People almost saw my ass just dive into the screen.
Yeah, well, look, just grow out your hair and like a ponytail, like Juicy over here, and get some toilet bowl cleaner and pour it all over yourself to get blue, and go out to Australia. You can live that whole life.
Well, you know what?
With the creatures and everything.
Nightmare creature.
Well, let me ask you something. Will she be there? Because that's the only reason I'm doing that shit.
That girl's like 13.
In cat years, that's different.
Cat years, that's like 50, Martin.
Yeah.
Human years.
I think I'm 50, she's 50 in cat years. We're just fine, man.
The authorities might say different.
The reason why I love doing this and making this kind of humor, because everybody talks about that cat like she's real.
I know.
Corey, you gonna get in trouble. Over a fake-ass fictional cat person? Corey, you nasty. Over a unreal CG cat person? Get your ass out of here. Oh, Corey, you gonna go to jail, man, over a cat person? Get your ass out of here. Wow, people really do want to go to Pandora. Man, I got to go to Pandora and protect their ass from Corey, man. This ain't right. The next blockbuster here. This should be no surprise to people at all. I couldn't stop talking about this movie when it came out.
Captain Pete Maverick Mitchell. Let me be perfectly blunt. He seems to think that you have something left to offer the Navy. What that is, I can't imagine.
Like, you ain't shit to me, though. People, that is Top Gun Maverick. And you said it best, man. I think this movie's going to be remembered for the first one, at best, being, somewhat, not even like a good film, but,
No, I mean, people have nostalgic feelings.
It's a nostalgic film, but this is one of the rare sequels that is better than the first.
Way better.
In every capacity.
It makes the first one better.
It does.
Yeah, in hindsight, you're right.
It does. You really do see, like, wow, this dude's mature. Mm-hmm. Ain't no baby oil in sight in this movie. Ain't no, they did play volleyball one time, didn't they?
Football.
Oh, they played
tag football.
Yeah. Tag football. But nobody was greasy or anything. Nobody was slipping through each other.
No. It was clearly tribute to the volleyball scene, but but we ain't getting crazy with it.
They actually had context within the movie, which is important. With volleyball scenes, like, we're just happy to look sexy. What the hell?
No, we're just trying to
that too.
Navy recruitment video.
Yes. Yeah.
Look what you can do in the Navy. You can grease up, play volleyball with your buddies.
Everything from grease up dudes to lines like, I want some butts. Boy, you don't tell me that I don't see what I'm seeing. But this right here, so here's what I really loved about this movie, man. I loved having a blockbuster that did not depend on superheroes, sci-fi, fantasy creatures, and only did CG when they absolutely positively had to. And the reason why that was so great is because it gave, in a huge blockbuster like this, full of spectacle, which they did not cheap out on at all. It's Tom Cruise. There's a reason why he's the last big movie star we have right now. But it did give performers a chance to perform, to act.
Yes.
Yeah.
With this one, they actually took time to build out, characters that you cared about. They felt real. So, and plus I'm just impressed by how you would never, if you had told me, last year that I would love a Top Gun movie, I'd get greased up and have sex with you.
Just if they told you that?
Yeah, I'd play volleyball first. This movie really impressed me, man.
It definitely benefited from everybody going in with low expectations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure did. They even turned the nostalgia around this movie. Yeah. For a movie that we often criticized for nostalgia, they used that nostalgia to great effect in here. Got my ass with it.
Oh yeah, they got everybody with that.
That too, and they finally got me.
Well, it was smart to use everything we know about what's been happening with Val Kilmer into the, fold that into the movie. Yeah. So it was, just pull at your heartstrings the proper way.
Yeah, it never feels exploitive.
Right.
Yep.
It's perfect.
No, not at all. It was a great scene between Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise too.
Well, also, we had just done a retro review of Top Gun, and to go back and watch it with, older eyes, and to come out and going like, man, Iceman was right the whole time.
Yeah.
They tried to make him look like the villain, but he was like, nah, Maverick, he's going to get somebody killed if he doesn't sell.
They took a lot of things that they were very gung-ho about and celebrated in Top Gun and worked it into this story in a way that was, like Tom Cruise's character, was more mature. But again, even though it was a more mature film, never scaled back on giving the thrills to the people. That blockbuster feel, the spectacle, man. This is a movie that I probably, again, like the Batman, admire, because I did not love this movie as much as other people have. And believe me, a lot of people are saying that this is not their number one movie for 2022, but this is their favorite movie of all time. I think this movie has problems, but I do have to give it credit for being one of the most original movies I've seen. And I did enjoy it. I did like it very much. I just didn't like it as much as other people.
Very busy today. No time to help you.
I've seen thousands of Evelyn's.
That is everything, everywhere, all at once. And so the reason why I probably didn't like this as much as other people is because it's a long movie. And I guess this is one of the times I just started feeling it. And I thought the movie started getting kind of repetitive after a while. I thought it could have been scaled back just a little bit. edited just a little bit. But I do love everything else that they were doing. You know, this is a movie where they play with their own universe, their own means of the multiverse, and they do a lot of funny and creative things with it. One of the things that I enjoyed about this is that through all the weirdness, the movie ended on a very emotional note.
Yeah.
You know, he still brought it back to like story and character here.
Yeah. Probably
enjoy this more than when I originally saw it. So, all right, let's get to my number one. I say number one, none of these were numbered. Let me change that. Let me get to even though I wasn't comparing these movies, I wasn't comparing these movies at all against each other, saying one is better than the other. I was just saying these are some of my favorites. What do you think? There is one movie that I have to say that the more I thought about it, and I actually rewatched the other day, and it did end up being my favorite film of 2022. And again, if you've been watching the shows the last few days, this is probably no surprise to you.
Welcome to Hawthorne.
Here we are family. We gel.
Just like Everything Everywhere All at Once, this is one of the most original screenplays I thought of 2022, except it wasn't, you know, where Everything Everywhere All at Once went into like just weird areas. This was more sinister. This was more unpredictable in ways that where you're trying to figure out what is the plan of this very demented person played by Ralph Fiennes. The menu, I thought it had smartly written dark humor, great dialogue, fun characters, a great ensemble cast in this.
Yeah.
And again, you know, the originality comes in with not being able to predict what's going to happen, because you cannot predict this person's whatever master plan he says he has.
Sure. And the people working with him.
Yeah.
Who are all on board with whatever it is he's got going.
And plus, it's, you know, it's a movie that it's taking a shot at people that maybe I'm not too fond of. Not generally, but certain sections of culture, man. You know, this is all centered around too many of the phony people we see in art cultures, upper class cultures. And it's almost making a statement about that, just how phony these people are. But I did watch it on HBO Max. And what's so beautiful about this film is that you can catch things that you didn't see before, setting up the events that are about to happen. Or you can watch it a different way, knowing what you know, because the movie it's a gradual process of reveal. But one of the biggest things that drew me back to this movie is Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes, man, I think he gave the performance of the year. You know, I found him mesmerizing in this. You know, his crazy ass chef Slowick is a great complex character. You know, he's part villain, part hero, part cult leader, part sympathetic martyr, 100% crazy. It's completely insane. But I found that this is, but how would you describe this? A lot of people have described this as horror. Some people describe this as a thriller, very dark.
I would say a dark comedic thriller.
Yeah,
exactly what I'm going to say. Yep, nailed it.
Yeah, I go back and forth because I do say thriller sometimes, but then it gets so demented at the end. I mean, we start getting into like serial killer territory. You know, like how you. Because
positions people and stuff.
Yeah, well,
makes an art piece of it.
Because they say what makes Michael Myers and Halloween not a thriller and not a horror movie, not a thriller. Uh-huh. You know, and I think it's how demented, you know, people and just fiendish they get with their kills.
Oh,
and this ends in a very fiendish, crazy, insane kind of way. And I like the ending of this because you go back and you start to ask yourself, well, what does this mean? And I think people can pull different meanings from this movie. And that's something that personally appeals to me. Mm-hmm. When you walk away with something and say, you know what, I got this meaning from this, which might be different from somebody else. And you can sit down and debate about it. Anna Taylor-Joy was amazing in this. But man, I just kept laughing through the whole movie too.
I think Nicholas Holt's really great in this also.
Yes. Nicholas Hoult.
These last few years, he's been delivering these fantastic supporting performances. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult is brilliant in this movie, man. And you hate him.
You grow to hate him so
You
much.
hate him so much in this movie, man. I rewatched the movie just to see certain things happen to him.
The scene, I don't even want to say what it is, but there's a scene with him and it involves Ray Fiennes, and it's just like, that's what you get. It's so satisfying. It's so cringy and so satisfying to watch.
I don't think this is gonna make a lot. I think it'll make a lot of people's list, but I don't think it'd be their number one. But for me, I don't know. Something just spoke to me, man, with this movie.
I get it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I loved it.
Nothing
man.
wrong with it.
I out of all the movies that I saw, nothing made me want to go back and watch it more than watch a movie more than that movie, just for certain brilliant scenes. I forgot to put something in Blockbuster, and I'll just say it real quick. Wakanda Forever, Black Panther.
Yeah,
that's it's probably like my blockbuster under Maverick.
They don't call him General or King. They called him Kukul Khan.
That goes without saying, man. Great.
I was surprised. I was wondering. I was like, he didn't been on his list.
Yeah, I skipped it. I'm sorry. I forgot to put it up there, but that's my fault. But yeah, of course, it was going to be in there, man. I mean, what can we say that I didn't say or we didn't say in our reviews of this?
Mm-hmm.
But man, Marvel, they pulled it off. They made a incredibly moving tribute to Chadwick Boseman, while paying respect and telling a great story or centering around the character of Black Panther or T'Challa. And it was, man, this couldn't be better timed. Marvel needed this because of all that silly shit y'all been doing.
It was a year of comedies where it was like, all right, enough already.
Yes. Everything's been jokey, been jovial, and that's fine, but everything's starting to take on the same feel. Mm-hmm. This came at the right time where we needed Marvel to go into a different direction. And hopefully this is, we're not to say we need to get rid of the jokey movies, but...
but it was that, the people who were holding on like, come on, Marvel, show them what you can do. People are starting to stop believing in you.
Yeah, this is the one I said, damn, boy, you hit at the right moment. I was getting kind of irritated with Marvel. But yeah, no, this is great, man.